Okay, I want to say welcome back again everybody, and welcome to another art video. In this video I'm going to start adding some colour to this woman I did, okay, this design. Let me just show you something before we continue with this. This started out, let me show you how this started out. This started out from a rough scribble sketch like this, and I turned it into a proper one. But it didn't even actually start off like this. Actually, let me show you. Like this is a scribble. Okay, it's very messy. This actually this was done on top of something else. It was done on top of this. You see, we started off with this one. Look at the first one we've got various ones I've set up here for women. Oh yeah, designs. And this is the same. They just flipped and turned a little size and moved. But this one here, what I did was I did a scribble on top, you see, and cleaned it up to make it more or less the right kind of shape I want and design. Then I went on top of that and I did the proper one. So I'm getting rid of that. You can see this is what we've got here. Now I'm going to start adding some colour to this. Ah, damn it. We're going to have a few different layers. So we're going to first of all colour the whole thing in a skin type colour. Now that can mean any type of skin you really want, but I'm going to go with the this kind of a colour here. We're drawing underneath the line art, so the lines are on one layer. You can see I haven't used an actual black. I've used a full opacity, meaning full visibility, but I've used a dark, very dark red type of colour. But it's okay. It works, you know. It works. It depends what you want to do. Now this kind of painting stuff can be very tedious. You know, a lot of people like to just go straight in and use that paint bucket tool. But as you know, with the paint bucket tool, even with like special advanced features like some softwares have for like auto closing the gap and auto filling and stuff like that, or whatever it's called, even though, you know, it can be fuss, and sometimes, okay, when you're using the paint bucket tool, the fill tool it's called, what happens is basically sorry for getting distracted here as a man. But what happens basically is you can get into trouble because you have gaps in areas where you, like, you know, if you fill it in, the colour goes everywhere else that you don't want it to be, you know. Now what I'm doing here with this is I'm just filling in different things here with on different layers in the most convenient ways I see fit. I'm going to go with a blonde hair this time. Wow, all these funky anime babes. I wasn't going to go for yellow, I was going to go for another colour. It's not too late to change it. You can change your mind if things aren't working out, but I'm going to do this. Okay, so we'll do this. I think we'll colour the ribbons on this one layer too. Well, I just like to work on different layers and do it that way. It can be tedious colouring things by hand, I will admit, but you know, it's just, I don't know, it just if you get used to it, you get used to it. I'm getting used to it myself. So you might want to zoom in sometimes too, don't forget. As soon as you bring that white in for the eyes, it really makes them stand out, it really does. And by the way, I was going to say, I mean, you can see how things, even though my art's not amazing here, you can still see how much better it is when the colour is added, can't you? Everything stands out more. I'm going to add some pink. We're going to have some different pinks. We're going to have dark pink and light pink, I think. Maybe, well, how about we just have white for those ribbons? How about that? We just have some different kinds of pink here. I'll have one kind of pink for the, I already know. I'm going to have this pinkish red for the skirt, you know, and so you got, you know, different colours. You don't want colour clashes. Sometimes it's hard because like certain colours you want to balance things out. It's the same as your what do you call that, your values and stuff. Like sometimes you get a clash where something's too dark or too light colours beside each other. You want to make sure that you've got a light and dark. The dark shows the light and the light shows the dark, right? but we're working with colours here. We're not started working on any light or shadow or anything, but still we have this. I mean, you can see here, like, it's still pretty pretty light, right? You see, so I'm trying to bring a darker one in now. I think that seems to work better. You see, to me it seems to work a little better. I could have gone with a slightly lighter one, I think, but I'm going to go with this. Trying to be very careful. It's hard to see when we're this far away, so I'm zooming in, gently tapping with my brush here, my pen on the screen. You know, because I've got the sensitivity set and stuff. Now, for a long time, quite a long time, I was using another Wacom tablet, which I didn't know how to set the sensitivity on and off, like for different softwares. It was really strange. Even now I'm looking at this and I still feel I need to go over this in a lighter one. Sorry guys for you wasting your time here. Yeah, I want a lighter one. Okay, that's a bit better. I'm going to balance that out. It's way too strong, that was. But yeah, going back to what I was saying though, yeah, so, you know, Wacom tablet, you know, and it was hard to like set the to turn off and on the sensitivity, but for this one, but for this big screen I'm using, this, I don't know how to pronounce this, Huion or Huion, I think it's Huion. That's what I'm using now, a new big, great, very good quality art screen and pen. You know, work. It's like it's connected to my laptop as like an extra screen, and it just works really well. So this is this top here of hers. Oh, hold on. I think what I can do is I'll leave certain areas white. I'm going to leave the bottom area down below there white. See, artists have got to do careful little tricky little sneaky things sometimes with colour or with shadows and things, so that things make sense, but also so that it shows off certain areas and stuff. You see how I did that? I'm going to have these pink as well. Don't have to, but I'm going to have them pink as well. Okay, good. Another good point actually to bring up here, I've just forgotten about a moment ago, I just forgot about, is actually we've got a problem here. The problem is that these areas are not actually white. You'll see what I mean, like they're actually grey. If I bring that, see? So I confused myself right there. We just add another layer in between there. I'm just going to paint those in as white now. Underneath, oh excuse me, put that below everything so we know what's what, and it work that way. It will keep with underneath what we've already got there. Carefully, you see, and it's a good way of painting with different layers. Okay, good stuff. Okay, now if you see what, like, there's certain areas where it's kind of messy because it's like a random. This is an actual painting, you know, that I'm actually doing here, you know. Then we're just going to merge it all down, as I say. Let me just merge these layers down, the right ones obviously. I have to go merge below, merge with below, merge with layer below. I'm right clicking on each one and then doing that. I could turn the lines slightly down, but I don't want to do that. Slightly down, okay. Yeah, obviously we're going to do that. Okay, so now I turn this back on. And then we've got the real deal, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer under this. I can get rid of that scribble sketch, we don't need that anymore. Just go with this. I'm going to have, I'll just add black first. Yeah, I'm going to, well, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, what do you think? Okay, I know. I'm going to add black. We'll just cut it out later on. I'm going to add black. Okay, full on black. Cover the whole damn thing in black. Okay. Now, before we start doing any detail in the background, I'm going to make a duplicate of this layer, this character layer. Oh, we do need to fix up some things actually, so let's clean it up while we're here. Clean up some areas to make it nice and clean. I'm going to be selecting colours from what we've got here by holding control on the keyboard and then clicking down on the colour and then letting go of control. And now you can see I'm using that pink. But you know what, to be honest, it's going to take a bit of fuss. It's not too bad as it is, we'll just leave it how it is. I can erase certain areas like this as well to like clean up certain unwanted areas, but I think we'll just keep it as it is. Okay, so I'm going to make a duplicate of this now. Go to filter, adjust, go down to levels and play with this top bar a bit. I'm going to pull the middle bar to the middle point to the right slightly, make that darker, you see. Then I'm going to imagine that we've got light coming from the right hand side. I'm going to use the pen in eraser mode up here. I'm just going to erase areas to show where light is coming from. Okay, basically. I'm going to imagine light coming from this side. Just imagine where the shadow is going to be on the left, so the light's going to be on the right. A bit of shadow underneath her neck there, obviously. And all these areas, you know, are brought out, and it makes it more three-dimensional and better to look at, to observe, y'all. And we got the light play there, so to speak. So we're doing that. Okay, you're going to do that. And just remember where that light is, in case you need to turn it off or on in the night. Or the day. No. So we're here. Get light on this leg here. You see, it just brings it all out. And again, as I say, this is you know, tricky and as such, because this is like you want to try and make things actually work, you know, to look, to show certain areas and stuff. Now bring this one slightly down. I'm going to bring this, hang on, bring this more across, I guess. It's a bit too hard, I think. My words, not hers. Let's merge them down as one layer now and then duplicate that again. Now make another one that's brighter on top by bringing this top bar here slightly in. Yeah, that looks better anyway, I think, like this. But what we'll do is we'll just bring this below first and then start erasing to show some highlights is what we're going to do. Just some highlighted areas there. Don't go too crazy on the highlights is what I've learned. I've really learned this. Don't go too crazy on the highlights. Mind you, I mean, it depends what you're going to do, you know. So, you know. Yeah, because these really are highlights. That's all they are on the edges and stuff. Otherwise, it kind of messes it up, I've noticed. So, areas, see, to show the edges of where that light is, so to speak. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to merge that down with this one below, and now we're going to bring this one into brightness by bringing this up a little, just keeping all those details. I'm going to bring the bottom line now, bring the bottom one in a little bit in on both sides, and just adjust them so I get the right level of contrast that I want. So hold on, I think that'll do. Now what I can also do is do a slight blur, not too strong like that, it's a slight blur. Sometimes people say that's cheating, but I think all the tools are useful in different ways, you know. What else you can do also is go on to another layer here. I'm going to just choose hard and light, and I'm going to choose white on a normal brush. Bring down the opacity of the layer, keep the opacity of the brush full on, and then just go here and then just do some shines, you see, little shines. Bring it up slightly if you wish to. Oh, and make sure it's set to hard light, as I say, which it is, you know. Just work out what you want to do. You might want to erase certain ones if it doesn't feel right, you know. And there we go, you know, we get those shines in. That's there. Bring that there. I'm not going to go too crazy. You could go like that if you wanted to. I think we can go with that. Let's go with that. Okay. Merge layer below. I'm going to make another one of this. I'm going to duplicate this layer. Go to adjust and then bring down the color curves adjustment curves. Bring them down. And then erase with a spray, a soft spray type brush. Middle to low opacity eraser, and just start erasing certain areas, and it makes it like this. Gives this extra soft bit of a shadow, I find. You know. And I'll show you something in a moment as well. Before we do that, I'm going to merge that down. See, you could go in even further with these shines, like on another layer. See, I could go with some whites. Not going too crazy, but you know, doing like these little white. I'm just going to leave it like that because there's going to be a bit too many, I think, if I do that. But you know, you could go with like a light spray and make some like glows. You see, like this, glowing, like shining. Like it's a bit too strong, I think, but bring that down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to merge those down with the one below. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto our back black layer, and I'm going to start adding some colours. I'm going to add a very light pink to make sure that her colours don't clash with the actual background. I'm going to add a very textured type brush. Make it very light though first, and this is behind her. Okay, I'm just doing that there. So as you can see, it's a little bit too strong, so I'm going to bring that down slightly. You know, you can do all kinds of things. There's some white in there as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. Hold on, I'm going to be careful now with what I do because I'm going to be doing a few steps here. I'm going to edit image, trim to selection. So that's that. Okay, now I'm going to merge this down. The image below, make that one background. Okay, deselect, under select there. Bring this. Go to adjust, HSV adjustment, color right up there, and I'll do that again as well. Filter, adjust, HSV adjustment, saturation right up, yeah, nah. And then go to adjust levels, play around with that, contrast and stuff. That looks good. I was going to add a blur, but I don't think we need to just yet. Yeah. Then here I'm going to start choosing colours now, like we did before. But I'm going to choose the spray brush, just the spray. Make sure you got the pen selected over here too. Make another layer on top of everything, and turn it to hard light. I'm going to choose like the yellow for the hair. Okay, medium sort of like opacity. Same for the pink, and then this pink. I'm just making everything seem like it's a bit glowing sort of thing, you see. And then choosing colours, what I've got on there, see. Excuse me, that was crazy. What just happened? Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good. And then, not going too crazy, but you know, choose white as well. Just some white, some glow. You know, and then just do certain things like that. I'm going to bring these down slightly. Bring the opacity slightly down as well, so it's a bit transparent. I'm going to merge all of these layers. Flatten image. Go to OK. Now from here I'm going to just play with, go to the filter, adjust levels. Okay, play with those a little bit. See, bring out the best of it. Make a copy, duplicate the layer, and then duplicate it. Go Go to adjust, play with the levels or the colour adjustment curves to make one of them darker on top. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Hang on, no, it depends how you want to do it. I'm going to do this maybe. That's still a little bit too dark, I think, but well, we're just doing a few things here, you know. And then use the soft eraser, like I use a spray type brush, turn it to eraser mode, turn the opacity fairly low or mid opacity for the brush, and then use a fairly sized brush to then erase to make her glow and like be brighter standing out, you know, again. And then for any final effects and stuff, you could just choose colours and then make it a normal brush, you know, as I say. In fact, did I do that right just then? I did, right? Yeah, I did. You can just add another layer on top and then just turn it to hard light maybe, and then just start adding some glows and stuff like that. Turn it slightly down if you need to. Add some like various random colours if you want a bit of blue or something. I don't know, something in there. But blue usually makes things seem a bit cold. But you know, I like all these reds and stuff. You know, you could give her blushing cheeks if you wanted to and a smile. It depends. I'm just going to merge all these down as one layer now. Flatten image. Go to the levels again. Mess around. Sometimes you can get carried away and mess things up if you do this too much. But just doing this here. Again, one more on the adjustment curves. See what I want to do. God damn it. I'm just going to save this one out as an image. I think it's basically done. So yeah, okay, that's that. Save it as a PNG. Get out of that, and I'll just show you that. So there you go. There's your image. Now I did actually get rid of the other images that we had. I'll just do some more in the next video. But there you go. You know, there you go. Tap the head down to the toe. You know what it is. Yeah, I could have done middle fingers. I could have drew them fingers a bit better, I know. But you know, there we go. And there you go. Oh, there you go. Into the mind of me. You know? Anyway, we can only dream. Okay, so thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.